Okay, guys, we are back. We are going to be going through adventure number 4 of Dungeon Saga. I got everything set up here on the table. It's ready to go. I know a lot of times the instructions will tell you to only set up to the first set of doors, nothing beyond that. But the thing is, since we're using the invisible Overlord cards, and I'm solo playing, I already know the entire layout of the dungeons. I've already had a look through it, so what I've gone ahead and done is just to save time. I've set everything up, and I've already placed the enemies. Now, what makes it a little different is, let's say my heroes are in this zone here, and they haven't opened up any of these doors, and I draw activation cards for the Overlord. Only the things that are in their zone are the things that are going to activate. Nothing out here is going to activate, because what we're doing is we're pretending like this doesn't even exist. I've only set it up to have it ready to go once they open that door. So keep that in mind as we're running through this, that if they haven't opened up the door to leave to that zone's gone from the board. So now there's another thing we need to talk about, and it's something they're introducing this scenario is actually weak points in the dungeon we're using. So what the weak points are is going to be these certain zones have this token on it. I'll put that in there. I don't know if you can see that there on camera. And anyway, so whichever zones have the weak points token on it, we actually, at the end of the round, we have to roll a dice between the Overlord and the heroes, and depending on the outcome of the roll, it's either going to be a no cave-in, and the cave-in marker moves to a different zone, or there's going to be a cave-in, and in that case, that whatever's on the tile, figures, chest, door, whatever, that whole section is just taken off the map. So as you can see in the scenario, we have 6 separate zones that have weak spots, or what are they called, the weak points is what they are. It's the weak point marker, and then we'll determine at the end of each round if there's actually been a cave-in or not. So it's actually something new. So I think everything should be good. The Warden is going to be going in with a tough and a haste potion, and we have those here ready to go for him. The Barbarian Orloff is going to have frenzy and tough, so we have those. Oh, did I say the wrong thing? So Rorden has tough and a haste potion. I got these backwards. So now they both have the tough attribute, and so we'll be using that in the game. And so it's tough and frenzy here. And then let's see what else. The elf Magrica has her spider silk armor and sure shot 1. And then the wizard over here basically has a whole deck to use. Spells are crystallize, corrode, brisk work, feet of stone, burn, break ward, flame bolt. It has 3 power 1 energy crystals, 1 power energy 2 healing potions, and a magister trait. So that is everything that is available to the wizard. We have our Overlord panel here for reference. Dice, our invisible Overlord cards, our timer. And for the timer, we have 12 cards total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we remove 3 of those for the start of the game for the first Overlord hand. I'll put that over there for reference. I'll flip these over so I know that this is our discard pile. Alright, and with that, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Alright, so flavor text first. It says, the battle with the Banshee had taken its toll on all of them, but none more so than Madriga. Though she had tried to hide it, Denor had seen the pain and hurt which had flashed in her eyes as they had fought the elven spirit. Unlike a normal shade, the Banshee had been fully aware of its torment, a full copy of its living counterpart, rather than the weak echo that human ghosts tended to be. When he had brushed her mind with his own, he had caught glimpses of the miseries and indignities that Mortibus Mortibris had inflicted upon her as he sought the location of whatever it was that she had been guarding. When he had probed a little deeper, she had almost slain him where he stood, but the risk had been worth it. Now they all knew exactly what was at stake, and they hadn't a moment to lose. Warden had suggested the shortcut. It had been marked on the old plans that his uncle, the king, had given to them. The gruff old dwarf had warned them that the way could be treacherous, but they had no choice. Time was now of the essence. The risk of the cave-in was balanced against the risk of so much more if Mortibris was allowed to succeed. Okay, so we're going to proceed on here. We already know the location that we're trying to get to is X. This is going to be this door, this last door here. So we need to figure out which way is going to be the best pathway through the dungeon to keep us away from these weak spots and hopefully even get to the treasure chest. We have an A treasure chest here and a B treasure chest here, which has some goodies in there. We also have some zombies that are on the board. Sorry about that. We also have some zombies that are on the board, Dwarf Revenant, and the limits. We're going to get 3 commands per turn, so when we use that for specific Overlord cards, we'll have 3. Raised dead limits are max 4 of the warriors and max 2 of the skeleton archers, and actually now they're doing max 1 of the revenants. So, alright, we want to get started. We'll probably see, so we have 3 doors here. We have one that is 3 armored. We have one that's a ward of 1, and another one that's 3 armored. So this one and this one is 3 armored, and this one is a ward of 1. So I know without any doubt that I can get to this one and open that door with absolutely no problem. I don't know if that really helps with anything, but you know, this one's going to be my easiest path to get through there. And I already know that I need the wizard to get there to be adjacent to it, but I'd like to try to cover up as many of these bone piles as possible. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move my dwarf Orloff. He has a movement of 7, so we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll keep his facing. We'll move his facing out this way, pointed towards me. So that's going to complete his turn. He has nothing else to do. So now what we're going to do is we'll draw our first Overlord card, and we'll see if we have any interrupts there. Okay. First one is an interrupt. So one model is going to be interrupting, and the only thing we have on the boards that they can see, or that's in our zone, is going to be bone piles. So the only thing that's going to be happening this turn is we're going to be raising a bone pile. So now we need to make a choice. We have choices of revenants, or the skeleton warriors, or the archers. So I used to do just 1, 2, 3. It was a archer, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 1, 2. It's a skeletal warrior. 3, 4, it's an archer. 5, 6, it's one of the revenants. So warrior, archer, revenant. Okay, so we got a 2. 2 is going to be just a regular skeleton warrior. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and put it here. I know where they're going, the heroes. And remember, I've explained this in my last videos. I'm kind of taking a different approach on the Invisible Overlord cards. I'm not following them to the letter as far as thread and order go. I'm basically going off, you know, I will use the number for how many models activate. I will use the interrupts. But as far as thread and order goes, I kind of just use my my best intuition about what the Overlord would do if I were the Overlord. So that's why I chose that spot. I know they're going to be moving. I know the heroes are going to be moving towards the door, so I want to try to prevent that or give them as much trouble as I can. So, all right. So we finished with that card. So now we move back to the heroes. Well, now that we have something to worry about, this may be a little tricky. Because I don't want to move the wizard up there, because now there's a potential that the might get hurt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my next warrior up. He gets 6 movements, so I don't have any problem there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to go right in front of him, and I'll attack. Alright, so we have 5 dice. Oh, I screwed those up. That was Orloff, had a movement of 7. Rorden has a movement of 6. He still could have gotten there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, everybody's still. So I keep getting them messed up. I need to move their cards off him. That's what's killing me here. Okay, that should be a little better. So the attacker is Orloff, and he gets 5 combat dice. Okay. And then the skeleton gets 2. And we're going to see what we got. Alright. We have 2 6s, actually 3 6s, a 5 and a 2. Skeleton rolled a 3 and a 1. Didn't block a single one of my hits, so this one is completely gone off the board. I'm not sure how loud that is. I may stop the video and see how loud those rolls were, since it was so close to the mic, and see if I need to change that or not. But alright. So now that we finished the first interrupt card, or no, we finished his turn. He's done. Then we're going to flip the next card over. It is not an interrupt, so then we're going to continue on. Now we can bring our wizard up with a movement of 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is now adjacent to the door. And he'll cast the Break Ward spell that he has. This is a minor spell, and I can do, with the Magister, I can actually do up to 3 minor spells. So our first one that we're going to cast is Break Ward, and so we're going to turn that just 45 degrees. Break Ward, it reduces it down to a 0. There's nothing left, so that means this door is now open. So the whole area that we have available to us is here, where the treasure chest is. We have a zombie, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bone piles, and another weak point here. This is the only area that we can see, along with what we had before. Alright, so now that the door's open, I still have some choices to me. I want to go ahead and cast the Crystallize. I want to see, because it's another minor spell, and I want to see what kind of energy crystals I can generate. Okay, I rolled a 1. So that means I just get another Power 1 energy crystal. So I'll go ahead and add that to my stack of energy crystals. Power 1. Alright. Now that was crystallized. That will also be turned 45 degrees. This is a minor spell. Now I could also cast Corrode for minor. Brisk Work, which is immediately move someone up 2 spaces. But I do see that zombie there. So what I want to try to do is cast Flame Bolt on it. I don't like him being there. And I will use one of my Power 2 energy crystals. This one is going to be rolling 2 dice, but the Power 2 crystal is going to give me an additional 2 dice. So we're going to go ahead and burn that. And we roll 4. This is going to be a 4 dice attack against our zombie here. And they get 2 dice. They only have an armor of 1. But I have to do at least 3 hits on them, or otherwise nothing has any effect. Okay. Alright, so I rolled 2 1s. We already know those are ignored because of their armor. However, they roll 2 5s. I rolled a 6 and a 4, but it doesn't matter because that wasn't even enough hits to do anything. So that finishes the whole turn out for the wizard. Now we see what's going to happen with our next card. No interrupts. Our last one to activate is going to be the archer here. He's going to move up, plant himself right on that bone pile. And that's going to be it. We're going to move now into the Overlord turn, since everybody's activated. And the first card that we're going to flip over is... room here. We're going to activate with the mission-defined set of models. That's going to be 3 models. And we have 1 on the board, and we're going to be... the only other one is to raise 2 of those bone piles. So he's going to activate. We'll activate him first, and he's going to go 1, 2... I think this is his front facing. Yeah. So he's going to go ahead and attack the wizard since it's there, giving him an ample opportunity to do so. The zombie gets 2 dice. Wizard gets, I believe it's 2. Yes. I like the wizard. I always like to see go after him. So I'm going to roll like this just in case the dice rolls too loud. Alright, so rolled a 6 and a 2. The zombie rolled a 6 and a 2. Thank goodness, that means that no hit was taken on that, so we can breathe a little easier. Now our next 2 activations are going to be the bone piles. So again, we're going to say, since this is not revealed, I'm only allowed 1 revenant, but since this zone is not revealed yet, that means I can still spawn 1. That means if this pops open at that time, he'll still be on the board, but I'll still only be able to raise 1 revenant for the scenario. So 1 and 2, it's a warrior. 3 and 4, it is a archer, and 5, 6 revenant. Okay, so another 1. We're gonna have another skeleton to deal with. Okay, and my next one, where do I want to put it? Where would I, the Overlord, put it? I'd like to put it somewhere close. However, I know I'm already blocked in. There's nothing I can do. I'll take the closer ones because my thinking is that if I'm here, I can kind of block the heroes in from advancing and save these so they can't try to make a movement to go stand on top of them. At least that's what my thinking is anyway. Alright, so that is the end of the Overlord turn. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry. Our next card is 3 models get to act. So pretty much that means we're going to be raising all these bone piles. Alright, so this first one is going to be, it's going to see our roll. We've got a 4, so that's going to be an archer. It's actually a pretty good placement, I would say, for that. Okay, our next one is 6, so Revenant is coming into play. Where's my Revenant? Crap, I didn't pull the right amount of models. Give me a second, guys. I did. I swear I did. Nope, I did not. It's still in there. Okay, this guy's a turd. I have to say that right now. He is a turd. Alright, now we are going to roll for the next one, but it's either going to be an archer or a warrior. So 1, 2, 3 warrior, 4, 5, 6 archer. Okay, it's a 5, so it's going to be another archer. Last one. It's going to be there. Awesome. That looks pretty good, actually. Not for the heroes, but for the Overlord. Okay. So that finishes the Overlord's turn out. They can't act, they can't activate since they were just raised, so they were completely done. So we're going to flip over our first Overlord card for the timer. Now what we're going to do is resolve the weak points. So we'll see what's going on here. Oh, where did things start? I forgot to say. Looks like the cave-in marker started here. and this one. Okay. I believe that's what it. Yeah, I mean, so it started there. Okay. So now we roll our dice, and I might have to look up the rules on this one just because. Alright. So we rolled our 2 dice. It said if the numbers rolled are different, the roof holds. For now, subtract the lowest roll from the highest and move the cave-in marker that many spaces from weak point to weak point in a clockwise direction. Alright, so we are here. We rolled a 1 and a 2, subtract 1, that's going to be 1, so it's going to go from here to here. And there we go. So that's our spot. So now we finish that, and then we'll carry on.